and 4. The battle is on. It's going to be too close to call side by side. Long Joe gets it. Oh, we got contact. We got flips. We got big wrecks here. Going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
William Page with the victory.
Looking for second here.
Busa's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Boyer trying to close the gap. He's gonna get to the bumper. Oh, just barely did not make it. And coming off of turn 4, Jeff Sikenis is gonna win it at Dover.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Cup Series live on JTN from the wonderful Texas Motor Speedway. As always, I'm your host, JoeTowNetwork. Alongside me tonight, though, in a change of pace, here for HOBO Racing, it's the one, the only, the Mr. Tommy Bordeaux.
Well, howdy, Joe. Good to be back here for another race at Texas, another weekday race here on JTN for me. Good to be back, though. I'll tell you what, I was watching last night's broadcast. I'm glad you got to switch things up with Sonoma. I wish I was there, but we're back here. We're back to watch some more racing here tonight with the HOBO Racing Cup Series.
Back for some more No Limits Texas action, and that race preview graphic is wrong. I apologize for that, but this, of course, the Texas Motor Speedway, 117 laps tonight here for the fine folks at HOBO Racing. It has been a wild grind today to get stuff ready for tonight's broadcast because it's going to be a fantastic one. So many storylines. We were at Texas actually last time with HOBO Racing back last month around week after COTA, I believe. But we were at the new Texas, and tonight, Tommy, we're going back to classic Texas, or the better Texas. I don't want to say good because I know some people, might say Texas has always been bad, but the better Texas nonetheless.
I think Jeff Burton and Matt Kenseth would say that they've had some good runs here at Texas before, side-by-side racing. But there's no PJ1 on this track, Joe, and these drivers have the same Texas that we've seen all week, location-wise, but certainly, like you said, not exactly track-wise. Should be an interesting little mix-up here tonight.
And this is obviously similar to the races you saw at the end of last week with Bomb Squad Racing. Ran the same version of Texas. Tonight we're going to see what the open setup stars and cars of the HOBO Racing Cup Series can do here. Happy hour beginning, so that means we have a qualifying lineup. Tommy, why don't you take us through it?
Well, we've got quite a large lineup here of cars tonight. Great to see Jordan McGregor on the pole for this event. That 30 car set a blazing fast time of 27.567. He takes pole for a nice race. Caleb Lingle to his outside. On row number 2 is Keith McLean in the 28. And Jeff Stiknis in the 31. Stiknis, sorry.
There you go.
Oh, man. I caught myself this time. Hey, Steve Grant, he's starting 5th in the 11 car, and to his outside, my favorite name on the grid, Jason San Diego in the 22. Randy Smith in the 10 car, he rolls off 7th to his outside, Fugate in the 9 car. Harry Kodian in the 13 car, rolling off 9th position. With Matt Stern to his outside, they make up the top 10. Going back to the order now, Ryan Johnson and Troy Donahue making up row 6, Maverick and Ron Simpson, row 7, Steve Rubino and Ricky Bumbalo, row 8, Sorensen and DeSenza, row 9, Musa and the other Rubino, Dave Rubino, in making up row number 10. Dan Rubino, excuse me. Austin the Plant and Wiley King make up the end of your time setters in qualifying. Rob Heath, Herman Reese, Rod Weston, Moran and Gibson make up the rest of the field. Not seeing a time, but they will be in the race tonight.
Sometimes you just take those provisionals and you want to start at the back of the pack. For these ones, of course, 117 laps tonight. We're all having trouble with our words up here. It's a 70-degree day, but it feels a lot warmer here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Not as bad as the Cup Series this past weekend. Want to shout out everyone in chat so far. Mackenzie Weston, welcome once again to JTN. Jason Awesome Gaming. Julian Wilson, old KJ, and Barbara, welcome, and hope you're ready for another great night of racing here on the JoeTow Network. JTN with these fine folks at HOBO Racing.
You know, Joe, you know what they say, it's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity. And it sure is humid here in Texas tonight.
Let me tell you, it's going to be a long one, but thankfully we're up in the booth, so we got some air conditioning. I can see a lot of fans down there in the grandstands have been struggling with it just like they were this past weekend.
Yeah, hopefully the sim racing crew here at Texas gives these people water instead of selling it for $8, but that's not up to our discretion. We're just here to commentate the race, so.
Hey, however the HOBO Racing League can keep making its money, you know?
Yeah.
It's charging the first... Man, let me tell you, Texas, like, the pandemic is why a lot of those rules about the coolers are in place. But, like, come on. Common sense, people. But nonetheless, that's in short supply nowadays. Watching Jeff Stekenis on your screen. I haven't seen him race this paint scheme before, this Mopar car. It's just, it caught my eye at the start, so I wanted to make sure I showed it, because it's a good-looking race car. What are you looking at tonight, though? I think tire wear, tire heat, that's going to be the big story.
Yeah, well, you mentioned short supply of common sense. How about a short supply, not having a short supply of great racing? Hey, it should be pretty fun tonight. We're going to have, like we've seen all week at Texas, tires be a factor, track position be a factor. I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but the guys who are able to conserve their tires for a long run are going to reap the benefits if we have a race that hopefully goes mostly caution-free. You're always going to get one or two, most likely, but I think we're going to have a good race here tonight, and you're going to see that tire wear be a factor, and it should create interesting situations depending on who saves and who pushes it as hard as they can from the drop of the green flag.
And pushing it early isn't necessarily going to be the biggest detriment, because it seems like with these races we see some early caution flags, Tommy. And as a driver, you don't want to bank on that to maybe push your way up towards the front, but when you read off the lineup, you mentioned a couple guys towards the back. Herman Reese was the big one that caught my attention. He's starting towards the back of the pack tonight, and we always know that 73 Cadillac is one to compete up towards the front, so we'll see if he kind of tries to make his way forward as the night goes on. But watching Rod West and Jeff Fouier here.
Yeah, Herman definitely one to keep an eye on tonight coming from the back. Should be a lot of fun to see him work his way through the field and just how long it might take for him to get to the front, and that'll give us a good idea about how tough or easy it might be to pass here tonight.
You like it when it's tough to pass, right?
No, I like when it's easy to pass. But that's as a viewer. As a driver, I love it when it's hard to pass and I'm out in front and everybody's trying to get around me.
I feel like it's the opposite, though. You'd love it when it's easy to pass, because you can make your way towards the front, where if it's tough to pass, you know, you can't do that exact same thing
well,
yet.
It depends where I qualify.
Okay.
If I qualify up front, I love when it's hard to pass, but if I'm starting from the back, yeah, it could be frustrating working your way up through the field.
So Barbara, of course, rooting on the Rubinos, 21 and 44 tonight. Mackenzie Weston, obviously, cheering on Rod Weston. Lifelike tuning in, cheering on all of Team Speedland here tonight. So great to see the fans. I always love here with HOBO Racing. There's a lot of loyalty to the drivers here in the chat throughout the night, and it's just always great to see. There you saw a couple of those Speedland cars as we're going to get onto the grid. Get ready to get this one underway. How's that sound, Tommy?
I'm all for it, Joe. I'm ready to get this thing going. Should be a whole lot of fun here. Good to be back in the booth. Good to have the fans at home watching. Let's have some fun tonight.
Hey, and guess what? We're not going to sing I Can't Drive 55 to you leading up to the green flag. Although I did think that was kind of fun. Hey, a little bit different. You know, you got to spice it up every once and again. But cars again getting staged on the grid. Jordan McGregor, he'll pop up here in any moment with Caleb Lingle to his outside making up row one. Keith McLean. And
Drivers, start your engine!
there you hear the command. Keith McLean and Jeff Stekenis making up row number 2. And then Steve Grant and Jason San Diego, two of those Team Speedland cars, making up row number 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe, a terrific grid on the field tonight. A lot of cars out here. Gonna be a lot of action. I'm pretty excited for this one here. The Hobo Racing League always puts on a good show, and I think tonight it's gonna be no different. I don't know about you, but I've got a green Dodge Charger pace car out leading this field right now.
Oh, I got the Sheriff.
In hot pursuit. Well, I guess the field's in hot pursuit of the Sheriff. A little bit of a switch up there, but wow. Sheriff back out here at Texas putting in work.
Putting in work, was out at Sears Point last night with us. Putting in some more work now, but again, 117 laps here from the Texas Motor Speedway. No limits. Texas, for what promises to be another exciting chapter in the Hobo Racing Cup Series. Jordan McGregor and Caleb Lingle were so fast here earlier in May when we ran the other configuration of Texas. They once again are going to show their speed lining up here on the front row. They're going to look to avoid the mistakes that plagued them, that got them the finishes they did not deserve from that race in May. Pace car makes the hard left turn down the pit lane. McGregor with control. He'll wait for that flag to be dropped. And once again, we're underway here at Texas with the Hobo Racing Cup Series.
Good start from McGregor. Looks like he's going to be able to get a clear lane from Caleb Lingle on the inside going through turns 1 and 2.
Top 5 all single file coming through the center of 1 and 2. Then further on back, a little bit of a battle there between the 22, I believe that's the 10.
A lot of slicing and dicing towards the rear of the field. Remember, we mentioned Herman restarting in the back. He's got a long way to go, but things are starting to get strung out already. Herman Reese making his way all the way up to, let's see, across the line this time. Started 22nd. And he's still there for now.
You know, it's always deceiving. We think these guys, they're moving forward, they got a bunch of speed, and then all of a sudden you look down at the notepad and you're like, oh, he was only 5th fastest that time on the leaderboard. But watching Cody A go to the inside of Fugate for position. So, or Matthew Stern now going to go to the inside, almost called him by his BSR name.
Couple Pontiacs out here tonight. That looks good to me. Big Pontiac fan up here.
Hey, you're always talking about 2003. I figured bring you, we'll take you back a little bit. You got the Pontiacs, the 2003 Texas. These cars race just like those that we saw on the track back in the good old days.
It doesn't get much better, Joe. It doesn't get much better.
I'm just playing to all your strengths right now, Tommy. I'm just making you a happy boy. Stearns.
Well, who's definitely happy right now, sorry, is Jordan McGregor up front in that 30 car, doing a good job leading this field so far.
Still watching, looks like the 10 of Randy Smith falling back. Ryan Johnson now getting by. So we go back up towards the front. Caleb Lingle, though, all over the back bumper of McGregor.
Lingle hanging tough with him. It's a 3-car breakaway at the front of the field. McGregor, Lingle, and Keith McLean, the top 3 right now. Kind of just on their own here a little bit, Joe.
Sometimes you just want to be all by yourself, you know? They've kind of broken away at this point. But if you're further on back, you're not worried about that right now, right? We got pit stops, plenty of time to kind of make your way up front, because I'm just watching these guys. Just visually, they are putting down some blistering laps.
Yeah, they definitely are, but you got to worry about that, like we talked about with that tire wear situation. If they're setting really fast paces right now, later in the run, they may not be quite so fortunate to have those good lap times. And if we get a caution that comes out later in the run, after we've gone through green flag pit stops, it could be quite the detriment to them.
Saw a big moment there with Lingle off of turn number 2. Almost caught the wall if he didn't. That car's starting to get a little loose on exit. Jester Kennis to make his way up inside, get close to these top 3. McGregor kind of stretching his lead a little bit for the first time tonight.
I'll tell you what, that always feels good to open things up a little bit, just get some breathing room working That's a good sign. When cars are getting smaller in your mirror instead of larger, that's always the good place to be.
You always like it when the cars are smaller, right? Always.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe not if they're out in front of you. Maybe you want them to be a little bigger there, right? But in theory, the best situation is to have none in front of you, like McGregor has right now. Top 5, Jason Sandiego rounding out that top 5 lineup, starting to catch these top 4. 28 of McLean looks like he's got some right side damage, hit the wall a lap or so ago. Piloting the Gray Ghost once again.
Yeah, little tap there from McLean. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. I think he'll be okay in the long run, especially if we get a pit stop here under yellow where they can fix a little bit of damage, but doesn't look too bad.
Hey, nothing too bad. There is a big hit, though, further back. Steve Grant, Team Speedland, Pontiac into the wall. Like he recovers, he's going to dip back in line behind the 9. Stakenis by McLean for 3rd.
Stakenis, I'll tell you what, he started 4th. He's been up there towards the front. Saw that Pack 3 kind of jump away from the rest of the field a little bit. Now we're doing a good job, kind of saving his stuff a little bit. He's making his way up towards the front, too, now.
A good job of hey, it's not even necessarily about running really slow laps to conserve those tires. It's just about running your pace, not running your car so hard that you're wearing your stuff. Because really, right now, opening run of this race, opening stint, whatever phrase you want to use, as the caution is out for the first time tonight, Donahue around in turns 1 and 2. We'll get you a replay here in a second, but if I can finish that idea real quick. It's not necessarily about you running as fast as everyone else. It's about you running the fastest you can on your pace. You don't want to push everything too early. In a race like this one here at Texas, where I really think we're still at a point where it could be anyone's to win. Coming down through the front straightaway, though, here you see the replay. Donahue outside. Going to come down, it looks like, make contact with Mark DeSenza. Is going to send that Ford Performance Little Caesars Ford Mustang up into the outside wall. And then Moran in the 40 goes for a little bit of a spin. But he keeps it going. Didn't hit anything. Good.
Yeah. Probably the worst off of anybody right there is the initial contact there against that wall is probably the worst you're going to get. Pretty impressed with everybody able to get by without too much other damage.
Sometimes you see that smoke and you just panic, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, sometimes you see that ARCA brakes, we call it in the business, and you never want to be on the bad end of that. But everyone there doing a good job.
Everyone coming down pit road. 11 car going to stay out, lead a lap, get the bonus point. But everyone else coming.
Steve Grant in that Pontiac, I like to see it out front. It might be on standing out for pits, but 2 Pontiacs actually up there. Randy Smith as well, looking good.
Team Speedland always brings the heat with those Pontiacs.
Absolutely.
Everyone down on pit road.
No surprise, all those cars down on pit road right now. McGregor, with that pole win, also gets the first stall for the Red Bull team, and that's going to help him get off pit road first. Joe, it's just a straight line out of it. Couldn't get any better.
Not a lot of wheel spin, kept it clean. Lingle just followed him out. Big loser on pit road, though, is the 28. Going to repair that right side damage. Get that thing straight and away. Tom Musa just ran over our pit official. Unfortunate. I'm sure I'm the only one in this game that still has.
How many times has that happened this week, Joe?
Let me tell you. He's a trooper. He's a trooper, though. Probably got, like, Iron Man legs or something. Armor. Say, that'd be pretty cool. All right, Steve Grant, Randy Smith, they're 1-2 in those 2 Pontiacs. And then Rod Weston and a Honda there in 3rd. Have to think these guys will be coming down pit road. 11 going to come this time. 10 going to try to stay out, lead a lap once again. Although, we might only get 2 passes at pit road here. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so we'll get a 3rd. But Sometimes that's the scariest thing too. Early on in the race, you haven't had a caution yet. You don't know necessarily how many laps. These guys are all pretty well versed in their track knowledge here. But let's liven things up here a little bit. That's the wrong graphic once again. If you are in the market for some new diecast, racing-related apparel, or just about anything, maybe you're going to have a tailgate this fall for college football season to come back, and hopefully, I'm excited to be able to go back to the big house personally, but well, our friends at Circle B Diecast, they have all kinds of stuff. They have college-related gear, memorabilia, on top of course, their primary business, which is the NASCAR merchandise business. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, diecast, you name it. CircleBdiecast.com has it, and now you can use code JTN at checkout and receive free shipping on your order of $20 or more. Again, that's CircleBdiecast.com. We also have it linked down in the video description where you can find out more and get some more wonderful diecast using that code, and you'll get that free shipping, which will save you about $5-10 depending on how much you buy and what cars you buy. So always getting you good deals here on JTN. You can also check out our diecast reviews in conjunction with our friends at Circle B Diecast. The Chase Briscoe won up yesterday, Tom. We got that car in yesterday, and I hammered that video out.
Well, you did, and it was popping off, Joe. I see it's still popping off. A lot of views on that one very early on. Great to see that support from the fans. Watching that beautiful, beautiful Ford Mustang that Chase Briscoe drives this year.
Let me tell you, that blue is majestic. Just like the number 30 of Jordan McGregor has been on a tear here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Of course, he's going to start on the point. Caleb Lingle, Jeff Stakenis, Jason San Diego, and Harry Kodian, your top 5.
Jason San Diego, started up in the top 5, still there right now. I love the name, as always, whenever I get to broadcast a race he's in. I hope he does well, but right now, like you mentioned, Jordan McGregor been on fire. He's going to have to get around him and a couple of these guys in front to get to the lead.
Gonna have to maybe move it, try to break away from the pack once again like he was starting to do when we had the caution. Well, the Dodge Charger base car makes its way down the pit lane. McGregor will have control. He'll wait for the green to be dropped. And back away we go. Green flag once again from Texas.
And with these single file restarts, that really helps out Jordan McGregor because he knows that going down to turn 1, there's a good chance he's just going to be able to run whatever line he wants in his preferred line. And as you can see right there, really, really pouring a gap on Lingle right now, and that's going to give an opportunity here to this 31 car of Jeff Stakenis to get underneath for second place.
I think that 113, I think he's kind of fighting a loose on corner exit with that car because I saw it develop at the end of the run. Now, maybe once the tires get a little heat in them, they'll get a little better for this middle portion, but saw him getting a little squirrely on an exit. Have to think maybe they made an adjustment there on the pit stop to combat that, and maybe it's going to make this start of the run a little bit more difficult for the driver of the 113 Ford.
Yeah, sometimes, and I mentioned it in Tommy's world, drivers can set up their car real loose, but at the start of the run, it's going to be a handful. Pays dividends later on for sure, but it can absolutely be a handful at the very beginning, especially on cold tires. Stakenis has closed the gap up to McGregor in the lead. Stakenis showing some very good pace right now early in this run, Joe.
Well, he's driving a Dodge Charger, so I'm sure he's got some great horsepower underneath the hood, probably better than anyone else here in the field tonight. But, the Chargers in general, Dodge, trying to track down our leader, Jordan McGregor, who's led every green lap so far tonight. Jason San Diego still trying to work over the 113 of Lingle for third.
Yeah, you mentioned the Dodge Charger. Pretty cool what we get to do in sim racing. We get to see kind of course, with Dodge in the Gen 6 era. It's a good-looking car. I don't know how it would have performed in real life. They probably would have had to modify some things, but it's cool to see it racing out here. There's San Diego on the inside of Lingle in turn 1.
Make and complete
he's gonna
the pass. Look at that. Power move from the 22 to Jason San Diego. Now Harry Codian to the inside of the 113 of Lingle for 4th.
Lingle's struggling on that outside line. Not much grip up there compared to the bottom on this version of the track. He's going the wrong way after starting up front on the outside pole.
I'm telling you, that car's going to come to him at some point. But these guys, they got to pounce right now. You got to pounce to get by these guys that are so dominant at these mile-and-a-halfs when you can. 13 completes the pass. 9 now trying to get to the inside of the 113. That's Jeff Fugate. Then you got Matthew Stern and Maverick back there eyeing up that 113 Ford Fusion. Welcome, Larry R. I would probably mess up saying your last name, Larry, but because I know it and I would say it wrong, so I don't want to say it, but welcome in once again to JTN. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Julian Wilson, KJ, loose is fun. Being sideways is even better, LOL. Well, take it from the Texas Master last week, who looked like he stunk up the show in that Texas triple with Bomb Squad here at Texas. Now Jeff Fugate going to the inside of Cody Ann for 4th. But take it from that guy. He probably knows what he's doing a little bit better than you and I.
Yeah, well, okay, well, we'll see. But definitely, yeah, loose can be really advantageous here at a tight Texas track, especially on cold when those tires fall away. It certainly can help to have a looser race car than one that plows into the wall.
Fugate now trying to get to the inside of Jason San Diego. Not going to have a big enough run that time. Cody Ann got back in line there in 5th. Stern trying to work him over for that spot to move up inside the top 5. Yeah, I don't see too many other battles on track right now as the yellow flag is out. Well, that would be why. Let's see if we can't just find what happened. Looks like Donahue is slow off the pack. 38 of Rob Heath also slow down on the apron. Let's try to see what our culprit is here for our second yellow of the evening. All right, so it looks like it is the 38 Apple Door Systems Ford. He's going to go down into turns 3 and 4. Going to get loose. Ryan Johnson barely misses him, but hard impact, heavy impact with that left rear.
Yeah, certainly going to affect how that car handles for the rest of the race. That's the one thing that NR 2003 definitely models. If you hit that rear end, that car becomes a whole lot looser. And boy, I'll tell you what, it may be a sim from 2003, but they certainly get that right.
Buffalo Wild Wings on board with Ryan Johnson here down into turn number 3. There you see the 38 going around, and then, oh, there he is out to that outside wall. But once again, everyone taking advantage here to come get some 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles.
Looks like Fugate had a little bit of a problem in pit road, had to back up back into his stall, missed it a little bit. That's going to certainly drop him a couple spots. It seemed like he was on the come up through the field, but that's not going to help him at all.
Not going to help him at all indeed. Gregor wins the race off pit roads to Kenneth San Diego. Your top 3.
And Fugate drove all the way back outside of the top 5 after that pit stop in the Sundrop Charger. He's going to have to charge his way back up through the field like he did before.
I see what you did there. Rod Weston leading that lap, gets the bonus point. Corey Donahue, no doubt, will do the same here the second time by. Weston always in a good-looking Honda. That's an Accord, or is it a Civic? Oh, boy. I should know this, too, Tommy. I should know this. My dad worked for Honda Acura for a long, long time. It's probably a Civic. We'll go with Civic. How's that sound? It's a Honda.
It's the Honda.
Honda. The 1981 come down, so they'll relegate the lead back to Jordan McGregor. Pace car lights stay on. Look at that drone camera here on the pace car. Beautiful.
Man, how about that, eh?
What's the name of the pace car driver here tonight?
Oh, the one here tonight, the sheriff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I know him by. I don't dare ask him what his first name is.
Yeah. He's just Mr. Sheriff.
Yeah, that's yeah, I got that
Good
right.
enough for you, right?
Right, yeah.
Pitt McKenzie needed the tires. We ran what, 5 laps under green, and that's probably the right threshold to make sure you come down and get 4 fresh tires, because if you don't, the rest of the guys are just going to pass you on the restart because they'll have little better tires, a little more grip in their good years compared to you, and that's the tough thing, right, Tommy? It's you see the track position out there in front of you, and you want to take it, but sometimes you have to come back down to earth. And you know, driver wants to drive the race car out front.
Yeah, it can certainly be frustrating to know that, man, well, if I didn't, I'm going to be up at the front, but at the same time, if you don't, then you're just going to fall right back to where you were beforehand.
That's never good.
Not at all.
Pace car lights go off there. Jordan McGregor, Jess DeKenish, Jason San Diego, Caleb Lingle, and Harry Kodian, your top 5. Tommy, I saw you at catering earlier today. You're chowing down on some of that Texas barbecue, right?
Yeah, it was good. I think I prefer Memphis barbecue over, but it was still great, and I'm really happy that everyone here at catering gave us free catering. That was free catering, right, Joe? We don't have to pay for that? Is that right?
Bristol said just take it. So I don't know. I think I saw him sneak a couple
okay,
ribs.
Well,
made sure to debone
no
them for
surprise
him.
There.
For those at home, Tommy went on a big road trip a few weeks ago, drove all the way across the country. Tommy on the road is the segment we wanted to call it, but of course, forgot the camera at home. Oops, but...
Well, you could say that, or you could just say I was soaking in every moment, Joe.
He was soaking in every single moment. It snaked his way across the country. He has a personal vendetta against the state of Texas now, so that's cool.
Not just Texas, but New Mexico and Arizona, too.
Just not a fan of those other dry states like his home of California. Well, the guy who's made his home the lead here at Texas tonight, that's Jordan McGregor. He'll lead us back to the green flag. We wait for that majestic one to be dropped. There it is. Green flag once again here from Texas.
Once again, a fantastic start from McGregor, being able to control that start up front. As soon as that green flag goes, he can go. Doesn't have to wait for the driver in front of him to get going either. So he's setting sail. But already, I mean, you can tell that gap in front of him is not insurmountable. Jeff Stekenis has done a great job closing that gap beforehand on these longer green flag runs. We'll see if he can do that right here as well.
Not closing the gap as quick as they did last time. Caleb Lingle up into 4th. And Stern caught the wall there on the restart, but we're single file throughout. There's the Rubino brothers. If they're on the back straightaway.
Nose to tail, no surprise there. Those two always race well together, and they've always got great support, too, from the fans at home.
As we're under yellow once again. Let's find the culprit. Like Austin LaPlante, slow on the back straightaway. Don't want to pin it on him prematurely, but it looks like he's going to go for a little bit of a oopsie doodle down the back straightaway. Oh no, he was going through it hard through turns 1 and 2.
Man.
He's going to get loose through the center. Gonna ride that apron, kind of grind it like you would on a skateboard. And then he's going to go back around there on the bottom, down the back straightaway. And then heavy contact there with the inside wall.
Fought that car for quite a way, but just ended up with some bad damage there after that one.
Hey. Oh, no, he's spinning out now under caution. No. No.
And just about the same place, too.
Bunch of fake pits there. On Simpson going to come down pit road.
That's definitely under that threshold of laps to go. Joe, I'm going to switch over to channel 2 real quick and see if I can get a better connection to the server. I will be right back.
Okay. But folks, just another wonderful, picturesque Chamber of Commerce Day here in the great state of Texas in Fort Worth, Denton County at the Texas Motor Speedway. Jordan McGregor still your leader. Jeff Stakenish, Jason San Diego, Caleb Lingle, and Harry Cody and your top 5. And folks, you know, if you haven't heard, we got a little bit of a merch store here at JTN. Down in the description below, you can find a link to our JTN merch store, now available, our JTN race car merch featuring the design that Sean Whitehill piloted in the USORL Red Bull Cup Series earlier this year for Team Twansky and all of us here on JTN. You have the black variant and the white variant available on t-shirts, hoodies, as well as stickers. So go check those out, now available on the JTN merch store. We refined our lineup a little bit, made it look a little bit cleaner, gave you less options, but better options. Better and less, which I think is always a good thing. Race car light's still on. We'll probably get the one to go next time by. Producer Bristol is also telling me to remind you about all our upcoming races here on JTN, presented by our friends at TWB Technologies. Together, we are better. Of course, tomorrow night we'll be back here for the final time at the Texas Motor Speedway with our friends at All-Star Racing for their All-Star Race. Coverage begins 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time there. Then the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series takes to the Windy City and the Chicagoland Speedway, 9:05 p.m. Eastern. On Thursday, the USORL Cup Series last race of the round of 8 from Dover International Speedway, 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time there. We're going to cut the field from 8 to 4 that night. You're not going to want to miss that one for sure. And then another one you're not going to want to miss back here with HOBO Racing with the trucks at Nashville. Sunday night, Father's Day. Cap off your Father's Day with a little more racing. And then Bomb Squad Cup Series from Pocono the following Thursday. Well, I will get a 3-day break, Tommy, and I am so excited. I will get a 3-day break, Bristol, and I will be so excited. All right, Bristol answered me. Tommy didn't, but that's okay.
You certainly deserve it, Joe. You've been working hard at this, and I'm sure the fans all appreciate it, though. It's been quite the stretch of races for you.
It has been quite the stretch of races, and they've been showing all that appreciation by making sure they're hitting the like button right now. Just a reminder, 22 of you watching, only 11 likes. What's up with that? Pace car lights are off. If you like the pace car lights going off, giving us the one to go, hit the like button. If you like great racing, well, this is your home for it here on JTN. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream, share the content. We always appreciate it and can't thank you folks enough for all of your support that you've given us in this last year. Again, we've been at this for about a year and a month now, and it's crazy to see what we've built, and if we could not have done that without you guys, especially our friends here at HOBO Racing, who were one of the first leagues to have us come pick up their races. And I can't thank Steve Rubino, the whole admin team here, for doing that and having us out for these races. It's been our absolute pleasure. Likes already climbing. See, Larry, that's what I do. I guilt trip into hitting the like button. Right, Tommy? I think that's how it works. Is that what I did?
That's definitely, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a viable strategy. If it works, Okay, you know.
Hey, if it works, it works. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate that. And welcome. I don't think I got to say welcome to you earlier. Lights are off. Pace car's going to duck down the pit lane. Jordan McGregor is going to have control here on the restart. Jeff Stakenis there in second. And Jason Santiago rounding out your top three, just as we were the last time on the restart. Pace car makes its way down the pit lane. We get ready to go back. Green flag racing fans on their feet, waving their hats, waving their arms. Back underway here at Texas. Single file all the way throughout. Everyone keeping it nice and steady early on in this one. Big wiggle back there, Herman Reese. That yellow Cadillac. But Jordan McGregor, he set sail here on this restart out to about a 5-car length lead over Jeff Stakenis. Then it's the battle for third going on behind him. Caleb Lingle diving back to the inside of Jason Santiago. He'll make the pass down in turns 1 and 2.
Lingle hanging around in third place, Joe. He's been towards the front all night. But I'll tell you what, no one really has been able to challenge McGregor up there in front. Stakenis has closed the gap certainly at times, but boy, so far that 30 car, he is certainly the class of the field.
He is on one here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Has been so dominant. He won this, I believe, if I recall correctly, won this race in the fall last year. Was really strong when we were at the other configuration, which this track shares the at least turns 3 and 4 back stretch, front stretch with. You know, it's 1 and 2 is a little different, of course, with the less banking and makes it harder to pass down there. But we're watching Jeff Stakenis. Now that he's getting Caleb Lingle, Jason Santiago are starting to close back in. He's getting a little bit more of a push from behind. Is that draft, having the draft help behind you, is that still going to be really important, even though we're running cup physics with the cup cars and we have more horsepower?
You know, I don't know. Kind of. It varies slightly, I think. Certainly, that guy in front is kind of a cushion of air that gets pushed forward ahead of the car behind you, and I think that's part of what helps. Certainly nothing quite to the effect of that if you're right behind somebody in that kind of draft, but I'll tell you what, it must have helped some because Stakenis is now right there to the back bumper of McGregor.
That's going to be interesting to see. Santiago, big moment there off of turn 2. He ducks down. He's going to be to the inside. Cody ain't going by for that position now. Matthew Stern trying to get the 5th spot. Going to get it there off of turn 4. Big moment from the 22. Able to recover and only lose those 2 spots. But now Maverick trying to hunt to his inside.
I'll tell you what, for a situation like that, losing 2 to 3 spots instead of your whole race car is probably the most desired outcome. That was a big moment there. Good job from San Diego to gather it back up and keep rolling.
Maverick still trying to find a way to the inside of the 22. 22 looking wicked on corner exit right now. Up front, though, Caleb Lingle's starting to peek his nose to the inside. He makes contact with the wall there a little bit on entry to turn number 1. Going to lose that ground back to Stakenis. Stakenis also trying to work his way around McGregor. They're playing chess up front right now. I don't think they're playing checkers.
Oh, they're playing something, I'll tell you what, because right now it's going to take a lot of games to get towards the start of the field here. I'll tell you what, one driver who's playing no games is McGregor. He's holding on to this lead, and I don't think he wants to give it up from Stakenis right behind him. That 31 car's gotten close, but he has not even gotten to his side just yet.
Okay, to the inside, gonna get Mark DeSenza, not able to do it there. Looks like Keith McLean might have made some contact with the wall. You see Steve Rubino, Dan Rubino, sneaking their way up into the top 10. Very quiet night for them, which is good, especially in Dan's book, because he has had such terrible luck.
It always feels good to get a good run going and hopefully turn things around because, man, I've been on those cold streaks before, and it is brutal. You question yourself, do I even remember how to race? All it takes is one good race to start turning things around, though, Joe.
And Bino definitely has those good races in him. Just has to make sure he doesn't get caught up in someone else's stuff. There was a word I almost used there, not too friendly for puppy dog ears like Bristol's, but Fugate now looking to the inside of Maverick for the 7th spot. Gonna get it. Darren Ingram asks in chat, Tommy, and I think you'll have a better answer because you got all the telemetry in front of you. Stekenis is still peeking to the inside of McGregor. What kind of lap times are these guys running here tonight?
Right now up front, McGregor just set a 28.393. Here we go across the line this time. We'll see what he's like out front. 28.428. And behind him, Stekenis, a 28.446. Those are your leaders right here. So around the mid-28s, I think, as we get deeper into the run. Mid to high 28s. We saw some low 28s. Fastest lap right now on track was by Herman Reese, actually, with a 27.873. But, of course, that aided a lot by the draft.
Back there outside the top 10 right now, making his way up towards the front ever so slightly. Field's kind of splintering a little more towards the back this time. We saw that up front with that first run. Now we're seeing it out back. Why is that?
Well, Joe, there's a lot of things that go into how these race cars develop over the course of a run on tires and that kind of thing. Just run dependent. Sometimes the ebbs and flows of the races just make things end up like that.
You gotta love it when you ask your broadcast colleague a question and he has no answer for you, because then you know you asked a decent question. Maybe not a great question, but a decent one nonetheless.
It was a good question, but Joe, I've had a lot of boy, we're having some looks like some connection issues with my eyeballs. My some technologically advanced eyeballs are struggling a little bit here to keep up with all the action. So
there's a lot of cars here tonight. There's 25 of them starting this one.
Good to see, though. I mean, strong, healthy fields like this in NR 2003 are still out there, and you're seeing it right in front of you here on JTN.
Always love to see it. Still watching the top three, the top battle for the lead. Stekenis still trying to find his way around Jordan McGregor. Caleb Lingle just lurking there in third, and Harry Kodian starting to make his way up into this battle there in that red Meal and M4S installation Chevy Camaro.
So, the fun thing about Meal, they make vacuums as well.
Okay.
And we sold them at Bed Bath & Beyond, and we had a whole section for them.
So they do the ovens, stoves, and vacuum cleaners, is what you're telling me.
That's right. Yeah, they were kind of there were some like portable models, not like the shop vacs, not like that, but they had wheels on them, and they had a hose, and you could walk them around places. They were popular. People liked them.
Hey, always gotta love those premium Meal products.
Absolutely.
We are not endorsed, but hey. JoeTowNetwork@gmail.com. All right.
Yeah.
Jordan McGregor's still out front. You'd probably like a case of Red Bull if you could get one of those from McGregor's sponsor, right?
I suppose. I'm not the biggest energy drink dude.
Good.
But I'll tell you what though. I had a Rowdy energy when I was in Charlotte a couple weeks ago with the boys. Mm-hmm. I thought it was all right. You know, like I said, I'm not an energy drink dude. I don't think I'd go out of my way to get it.
Oh,
but
sorry.
If that's all I had, then that wouldn't be too bad.
Mark Desenza into the wall off a turn 2. Yeah, I've never been a big energy drink guy either, a coffee guy. Big soda pop guy though.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a coffee guy. Absolutely not. Unless it's the great taste of Hillsborough's coffee.
Kick to the inside of Kodian. Kodian slipping back here. Gonna get by Austin LaPlante, putting him a lap down.
Hillsborough's, if you want to sponsor an Arco West driver, I'll tell you what, I wasn't a coffee fan until I tried Hillsborough's.
Gotta love it when Tommy hijacks your broadcast to try to get himself some sponsorship. But, yeah,
Tommy at TommyBoard.com.
TommyBoard.com. When's TWV.com coming? Because I know we had fans in here for these hobo races asking that earlier this year. It's so close to Kodian. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the domain is not really available to get. It's very difficult to get a 3-letter domain like I would want. So that's on the back burner for now. You can always go check out TommyBourdeau.com. It's going to get a website refresh soon, trademark. So look out for that in the coming years.
Tommy, you're a hoot and a holler. Stern now to the inside. He's going to make the pass on the 13. So one Camaro hops another. Jason San Diego trying to find his way around the 13. Kodian, though, strong back on the inside. Stern going to fade down. Not a block, but definitely a fade.
And there goes San Diego to the inside of Kodian now, making that move into turn number 3. That 22 car trying to muscle his way up back through the field.
That 13 is really strong through the center, just doesn't have the corner entry speed right now. I think that's what's really biting him.
Yeah, well, that just allows the driver behind you to stick their nose in there, and then once they stick their nose in there, then they've got the line down underneath you, and it kind of messes up the rest of your corner. So not having corner entry speed can definitely be a detriment, as right here. 23 of Maverick, he looked a little bit on the backstretch, but he thinks better of it for now.
He thought about it, but then he was like, eh.
Tell you what, back up front, Jordan McGregor legging it out over Stakanis. Doing a good job out front as we are on lap 57 of 117 right now. 4/10 is the gap back to second place. McGregor, who has led, Joe, like you mentioned earlier, still all the green flag laps of this race.
And Rod Weston further on back, trying to find his way around Gary Moran. What position is Weston in right now, Tommy? Oh, car blowing up on the bottom. That's Donahue in the 81.
Well, he was in 18th, but
Still be an 18th.
he'll still be in 18th this time by.
Tom Musa to the inside of the 59. Duke Sorensen makes that pass. Up front, McGregor kind of legging it right now.
Last time by for McGregor, going back to lap times, a 29.1. But he was just about half a tenth faster than Stakanis down in second. And Joe, it's marginal. Those lap times, those differences are marginal, but they do add up over the course of a run because, man, one lap half a tenth faster turns into a full tenth after 2 laps. 10 laps later, you're a whole second ahead or half a second ahead, and that can mean a lot. And just like I say that, he is over half a second ahead of Stakanis in second.
Really struggling right now is that 13. Cody and Keith McLean going on by Dan Rubino. Rubino going to lose another spot, it looks like, to Herman Reese. Further up, Maverick to the inside of Matthew Stern. So now we're starting to see these guys come back together, get a little racy as we're closing out in on what could be our first cycle of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, a lot of action. You want to get yourself set up well for these pit stops too, Joe, because as you remember on Saturday night at USORL, we had some problems coming to pit road, some big championship implication problems too, involving Darren Ingram too in that 23 car. So, yeah, definitely, Joe, a lot of shuffling around here just to be in the right spot, be where you want to be when it might be time for pit road stops to occur. There goes Herman Reese on the inside of Stern right now, that Cadillac CTS.
Doing a good job late in the going on a run. Fugate down first onto pit road. Looks like Aaron Moran also down, but first of our leaders is that 9.
The Sundrop Charger down on pit road. He had a lot of speed earlier, had a bad pit stop under yellow flag conditions, and he's kind of been dropping ever since. But now, early on pit road, a little bit of a strategy for that team. Hopefully they can make up that track position on brand new tires. Stern to pit road, as well as Dan Rubino, as well as Steve. A couple more takers, Joe.
Steve Rubino's still out on track.
It sure looked like he was coming.
He thought about it, but then I think he's coming this time. Being extra careful to make sure he gets down on pit road.
Our leaders also down on pit road now. Stakanis, followed by Lingle, and ahead of them, McGregor, who had a good advantage heading into pit road. We'll see what that's like as they exit it.
When cars coming out of their boxes here, that's going to spell trouble for the 30. He's going to have to slow down. That's going to allow Lingle to kind of
have some implications.
It's going to allow Lingle and Stakanis to maybe close the gap because they are running pit road speed for a little bit longer. But everybody getting 4 fresh Goodyear tires, of course, here on the pit stop. We're watching the top 3 all there on your screen. Top 4, really. Jason San Diego there in the 22. 30, though, going to win the race off. 31 and 113 going to be side by side on the apron. And no, 31 going to get it by. That's a little camera trick.
Despite that slow up, he had to wait for Stern to get around him. Looks like McGregor actually gapped back to second place just a little bit, and especially exiting a little bit earlier now, he's stretched it even more. Well, they came in pretty close together, but boy, McGregor's crew had a great stop.
Great stop indeed. Keith McLean now down on pit road. Maverick, Mark DeSenza. Gotta love green flag stops.
Absolutely, they add so much intrigue to the race. Different strategies going with guys maybe short pitting or trying to stretch it as long as they can. A lot of variety here when you get an uninterrupted racing experience.
Hey, you got it.
It took a while.
That's okay. Watching second place, Jeff Sikenis. Looks like him and Caleb Lingle are kind of starting to track down Jordan McGregor. This is what's going to become the battle for the lead.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like they kind of get strung out to start a run. They kind of bunch up towards, as we get going, picking up the lap times. And then towards the end of the run, maybe we string out again. I think that has to do with tires, but also a lot with the setups, just how these cars handle throughout a run. Might have a faster car on the short runs, Sikenis and Lingle do, but I think perhaps that 30 car just fast everywhere.
That's never bad to be fast everywhere. Aaron Ingram just saw the TikTok video that we uploaded to the JTN TikTok today, because got to get more people tuning in, folks, and that's why you got to follow all our social medias. We have linked down in the description below, our JTN Facebook, as well as our JTN Twitter. So go give us a follow, like the page. And you, too, can be a follower of us on JTN. Interact with us, too. That's always fun, right, Tommy?
That always makes it more exciting when you have fans at home interacting. Here's some exciting stuff in front. Lap cars, lap traffic. These leaders all going high around them.
I have a feeling they didn't want to go high.
No, certainly not. That's not really the preferred groove here, but they had to go. They got around them just fine this time, but I'm not sure the leaders are very happy about that.
Leaders, though, doing a good job just keeping it together. Are you kind of working with these guys, too, thinking, hey, maybe let's be calm here. It looks like there's a car smoking down on the apron. Oh, it's Dan Rubino. He's going around again. Are we still green, Tommy?
So far, we're still green. Green light's still on here at the racetrack.
Let's get you a replay. What happened to Bino? Oh, my goodness. He's sliding a lot. How is there not a caution here? They're coming off of turn number 4. Again, this is a replay of what happened. 44 is going to get loose. Going to hit the grass. Going to spin through the grass. Doesn't tear the splitter up. No cars coming, so the officials keep it going green. Hits the wall. Going to spin. Going to hit the other wall. And once again, another tough night for the 44. We're under caution now, though. See if we can't.
Might have involved Sorensen in the 59.
I see Ricky Bumblow all tore up on the two-time Brewing Company Pontiac. Let's see what happens here going down into turn number 3. It's a little side-by-side race in there with Mavericks. Going to send him up into the outside wall, although the caution doesn't come out right away. There it is. Bino coming down into the corner. But they just touch. They touch, but you don't want to be doing that going on entry to a corner. It's okay down the straightaway. Not good.
Yeah, no.
On entry to the corner.
Not in the corners at all. And I can't tell you how many times ARCA races in real life, Joe, where they touch or they try and push each other, especially in the corners. It never works out.
Never works out. Think back to Ross Chastain pushing Ryan Blaney. That worked out going down into the corner this weekend in the All-Star race.
Yeah.
Nobody wrecked. That's how you know it worked out. Well, Jordan McGregor, Jeff Sikenis, Caleb Lingle all down on the pit lane. 27 people currently watching. Thank you so much for tuning in here on your Tuesday night. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Though 26 now, 27, we're hovering. If you haven't hit that like button already, please do. It means the world to us here on JTN. It helps us with the algorithm. It helps push these videos out to more and more people, and it just helps us continue to grow our viewership. So if you like it, hit the like button, and then that allows more people to come discover us, and hopefully they like the content as well. We have a bunch of great stuff. I'm Joe Twansky. He's Tommy Bordeaux up here in the booth at the Texas Motor Speedway with HOBO Racing Cup Series action. Working lap 73 under caution, our 4th of the night. Kind of had that early little spell of cautions. Got that long green flag run. What are you seeing here in the next little bit, Tommy?
Well, as this race begins, kind of stringing out along here, getting towards the end of it, we've seen things get a lot cleaner. A lot of drivers, kind of getting a handle on their race cars here. Being an open setup league, there's also adjustments they can make, so I think drivers have made those adjustments. And Joe, I wouldn't be surprised if we go green to the end, really, at this rate. We've seen some great racing out here, but I'll tell you what, Jordan McGregor up front, somebody's going to have to find some way to get around him, because as of now, Joe, he has been the star of this field.
Is he the lone star here tonight, though?
Well, you look at the green flag laps led. So far, yeah, he has. But I'll tell you what, there's a hungry field behind him that does not want that to be the case.
Not want that to be the case, indeed. Looks like guys staying out here, though. Are they taking the wave around? Or no, there's guys on the lead lap. Steve Rubino on the lead lap right now.
Kind of surprised how many cars are a lap down. Of course, a lot of these are going to be drivers taking the wave around here, which will help them get back on the lead lap, but they will be struggling on older tires for sure.
That's okay, because we were in that mode where it was just one stop to the end, so it doesn't put you off on strategy, which is always good. But like you said, it's going to hurt you here at the start of the run. Maybe you come down pit road, you gain that time back on the front end of the last run to the end when you get your 4 fresh tires, hopefully under green. Or you get a quick caution, and then you get to come down, and it doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing more satisfying than when you stay out for maybe, not in this case, but in other cases, a non-pit strategy aligning wave around, and you get that quick caution, you get back on the lead lap and get fresh tires. That's a lot of fun, I'll tell you what. But for these guys, they're, like you said, Joe, they're in a good window. I think they'll be all right.
In a good window. Like to be in a good window. I hate it when I'm in a bad window, You don't get the right breeze. Maybe the sun's coming in. It doesn't have good blinds on it. You don't have maybe bad curtains. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah, you gotta have good curtains. I'll tell you where they sell good curtains at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Hey, you don't work there anymore, though, so stop trying to sell stuff for them.
Okay.
But yes, you're not wrong. That's right. I think that's where every college kid goes, like when they're moving into their dorm for freshman year. I feel like that's like the really popular place because they have so many doodads and whatchamacallits.
Well, they do a lot of business. The college-ready thing is definitely a part that was big for us. We wanted people to buy there to get their college gear ready. I'll tell you what, I got some microwavable bowls and plates that I used all throughout my time living away from home in college that were from Bed Bath & Beyond, and they were terrific. But you're not watching the Bed Bath & Beyond channel. You're watching the JoeTowNetwork.
JTN.
And yeah, you're seeing some HOBO Racing League action here in the Cup Series. Steve Rubino has stayed out. He is at the point of this field when we go green again. That 21 car and older tires, but Joe, he's the first one that's going to be out in front of McGregor for a restart.
First time McGregor's going to have to start without the clean air right in front of him. Going to be interesting to watch. Jeff Stakenis, Caleb Winkle, and Herman Reese making up your top 5 here as the pace car ducks down the pit lane. Fans on their feet, waving their hands, waving their hats, waving flags, programs, you name it, they're waving it. Getting ready to go back, green flag racing. We're back underway here at Texas.
We'll see how long Steve can hang out in front of McGregor. This provides an opportunity for guys like Stakenis to maybe make a move on McGregor, but oh, look at that high side run he's going to get. Those fresh tires certainly help in that 30 car. Oh, problems for Stakenis.
Oh, hard contact with the inside wall. no!
My goodness. And the caution's back out again. That 31 car was awfully fast, just stepped over the limit right there. That's going to be a brutal hit to the 31's chances of getting back into the front of this race.
Left front tire down. We'll go on board with our visor cam. This is what it's like to get loose off of 2. Heavy hit. Ooh. And then that left front goes down, so he's going to have to limp it back to pit road. That 31 Mopar Dodge Charger was looking stout here tonight. Most likely not going to get the result they deserve. Everyone doing a good job, though, to make sure they don't run into him. I know he's... You know, you say, oh, he's down there on the bottom, Joe. That wouldn't be hard to miss, and we're all single file. Well, when there's a big cloud of smoke, you know, sometimes you get unlucky. But Stekenis has retired.
Oh, and that's brutal for that 31 team, because they look like if anyone was going to challenge McGregor up front, it might have been them, but a brutal blow to this rest of the field's chances of taking down what's been the king of this race here at Texas tonight.
That moves McGregor. Going to go back to the point. Steve Rubino comes down pit road. He's going to get those 4 fresh tires. I think he learned the lesson there about not staying out on the old ones. Herman Reese in 3rd, Jeff Fugate there in 4th, and Matthew Stern rounding out your top 5. That should be our lineup for the restart. Didn't get a lap on the tires, so I don't think a lot of these guys that just came down will pit. But it does save those guys that took the wave around. You see almost all the guys on pit road are exclusively those that took the wave around save Steve Rubino.
Well, Joe, we got 40 laps to go in this thing. I don't know, man. I mean, we've seen Jordan McGregor lead the way this whole time. Caleb Lingle, who started up front with him, is finally back to 2nd place for the first time all night. But look back in 3rd place at Herman Reese. How about that? Started towards the rear of the field. He's found his way up to 3rd.
Hey, this is a Herman Reese kind of night. Lay low, get to the front when the pay window opens, and then try to win the race, or at least get that top 3. Not surprised at all to see the 73 up front, but really happy to see that team get up front, because it's always hard to navigate through the field when you're starting out back. Tommy, I know you start out back a lot. Forego qualifying. That wasn't a jab at you for your qualifying speed, because you're a lot better than I am. But forego the qualifying to start out back. Guys have a little more fun passing cars, right? So there's that, but. Good night for the 73. Fugate up into 4th, too. That Sundrop Dodge Charger. Stern. Ryan Johnson, who, if I recall correctly, won our Texas race here with Hobo in May. Bunch of late race shenanigans and pit stops. Ron Simpson, Rod Weston, Wiley King, Aaron Moran. I believe that's your top. Yep, that's your top 10. Look at me counting good.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, you mentioned coming up through the field like that, starting in the back and making your way. Passing people's a lot of fun as long as it's easy. And I guess if you're in the back and you're trying to get to the front, you're having to go through a whole bunch of cars to get up there. It's fun when it's easy. When you're passing for the lead, I don't mind a little bit of a battle, but especially if you're back in the pack, it's nice when it's a breeze.
Always like it when it's a breeze. I like a good breeze, you know?
It's nice. I've got my window open. There's a slight breeze out here tonight. It's kind of a warm night here. It's been hot recently here in the California Central Coast. And a little breeze is good. Not too much wind, though. Not too much.
Folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in tonight. Looks like Dan Rubino going to get that lap back, so he'll move back on to the lead one. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay.
He will be up onto the lead lap now. That's going to bring us up to 20 cars on the lead lap here tonight. Bumbalo in the 85, LaPlante in the 48. Currently the top 2 in contention for the Lucky Dog, if we were to have another yellow at this point.
Big if, right?
That's a big if. We very well could go green to the end of this thing. And if we did, that would really showcase who's good at saving tires.
You've seen all night.
Or just who has the fastest race car.
I think it shows both. It looks like 2 guys have retired from this race. Rob Heath, who had the earlier issues. Jeff Stakenis. Troy Donahue's still out there, though, right? No, he's retired. He's retired.
Looks like
He blew a motor. I don't know why I was thinking he was still out there. But Little Caesars is good. You gotta order it from that little pizza portal. Ooh, boy. Comes out hot and ready. Even better than hot and ready. Getting ready to go back green flag racing, though. You're ready to see the green flag drop once again here from the Texas Motor Speedway. Sheriff Pace car makes its way down the pit lane. Jordan McGregor with control here on this one once again. Waits to see the green. There it is, green flag, and we're back underway. And Caleb Lingle with a great restart all over the back bumper as we head down into turn 1.
Okay, well, that's probably the best restart anyone's had behind McGregor so far. Lingle right there hanging with the 30 car. Herman Reese, not too good of a start in that 73, but I think that car's going to be all right on the long run here, Joe. He's made his way up through the field pretty well tonight. Still got a pretty big gap to make up, though.
And have a little bit of a gap, but wouldn't be surprised if he could make it up. Lingle trying to get to the back bumper of that 30. If he can get there, does he ride? Or does he maybe, you know, push the issue on the 30, make him wear those tires out a little bit more than he'd like to?
Yeah, you know, Joe, if I'm Lingle, I'm going to try and just get around him as soon as I can, because I think it's going to be a lot easier when you're out in front of McGregor to keep him behind you than try and pass him later into a run where we've seen him start to kind of pull away from whoever's in second and third place. So I think I want to get around him as fast as possible. Lingle trying to arc it into the corner a little bit more, taking an outside line approach on the entry, trying to arc it back in to the inside later. He's got a little bit of a run here on that 30 car, but nothing doing this time as Herman Reese catches up to these two up front.
Kind of that rubber banding effect. So what you're saying is Lingle shouldn't linger there in second for too long.
No, he should not, Joe. He should not.
Those 2 Fords out front of the Cadillac. We got a Dodge and a Chevy making up your top 5. All 5 different vehicles, though. Got a Mustang, a Fusion, a CTS, a Charger, and now a Camaro to the inside of that Charger. That's Jeff Fugate on the outside. Matthews started trying to get there, almost made contact, but they keep it going straight down through the quad oval.
You know, we haven't had much of a race for the lead yet tonight, but we sure have for all these other positions around the top 5, top 10. These guys are battling back and forth, able to make moves. Fugate looking to the inside of Reese into 3. Stern right behind him.
Gonna make a big dive to the bottom. Having that preferred line has been so advantageous on exit of 4 here. Fugate to the inside for 3rd. Reese on the outside has no help. Stern gonna go with the 9. He's gonna get back to the inside of the 73. Now the battle on for 4th. We continue to try to keep our eyes, though, on the lead because Lingle is starting to hound the 30 of McGregor.
Things are getting quite close up front. Hey, that number 9 Sundrop Dodge Charger's done a great job making up spots during this race. He's just got 2 more to go before he would be in the lead. We'll see if he has anything for McGregor. We'll see if anybody has anything for McGregor, as he has been the class of the field tonight. Looks like we've got a caution out, Joe.
Caution number 6, Duke Sorensen slow in turn 3. Looked like he was sent around. Let's see what happens.
I think.
Oh my goodness!
Bumble might have been involved.
Oh my goodness! So watch Ricky Bumbleau. He's loose. He's hanging on to it. Gonna hit this wall. Gonna go around. Sorensen nowhere to go. Big contact with the 85. Ends up spinning like a top. That'll end Ricky Bumbleau's night.
Wasn't really going his way to start, and he was already a lap down before that incident, and things just getting worse for that 85 team tonight, Joe. Just not their day here in the Lone Star State.
Tough night for the 85 two-time Brewing Pontiac team. Everybody coming down pit road. This is your money stop.
Definitely an important one right here. Everybody down pit road, no surprises there. McGregor with that first pit stall, he's had that advantage all night long for winning the pole. Kind of really far to the right in his box, Joe. He's going to have to back and reposition himself.
Oopsie doopsie there for McGregor. Gonna lose time on this pit stop. Lingle, though, is gonna be a little bit boxed in behind the 30. He's gonna have to stop. Jeff Fugate wins the race off of pit road. Herman Reese second. And trouble strikes at the worst possible moment for Jordan McGregor.
And Lingle, how about Lingle? He had a great opportunity there to take the lead, but just because of how far right McGregor was in his stall, that 113 was not able to get around him. That opened the door for Herman Reese and Fugate to get by, and that changes the complexion of this race drastically.
That puts a buffer car there, too, between the 30 and the 113. That's Matthew Stern in the 4 Coors Light Silver Bullet. But that gives Jeff Fugate the lead in the Sundrop Dodge. Sometimes calamity comes a-calling, Tommy. Sometimes calamity just comes a-calling.
Absolutely, and when you least expect it, too. I mean, that was just... it was an important pit stop, too, but, Joe, they've had a couple of those tonight. That's just kind of routine. He had all the advantage McGregor did with that front pit stall, and now he's got some work to do. Not too much, he got away with it pretty okay coming out third, but still, for the first time tonight, he's going to be restarting deeper in the field than he ever has before. And with single-file restarts, Joe, going to be a big difference.
And time is even more of the essence, I think, here, because... You say, oh, it's, just under 30 laps to go. There's still plenty of time in this one, but if we get a couple quick cautions, then you're talking about taking away 6, 7, 8 laps from that equation. You're letting these guys kind of stay on equal tires. You're losing time to try to pass them, though. That's the big thing. And the more times you restart, the more chances you have for trouble to strike. That's what we've seen, right? I think that's always been the common denominator. The more times we restart, the more times we could have trouble. More time you set yourself up for maybe some more passing, but you could also have some more bent-up, wrecked race cars. On any late race restart, really, we saw wheel spin all last week, late restarts. We've seen everything. Single file is going to help that, of course. Not having that kind of line up, stuff kind of sticking too close together, but nonetheless, Tommy, it's going to be interesting to see if McGregor can get back to the front here. We're going to hit the line. Do believe pace car lights will go out. They do, so we'll go back. Green flag, Fugate, Reese, McGregor, Stern, and Lingle, your top 5. Then it's Ryan Johnson, Wiley King, Ron Simpson, Gary Moran, and Rod West in your top 10.
Well, here we go, Joe. I mean, this is it right here. We're really going to see how good that 30 car is, Joe. If he can get around Herman Reese and Jeff Fugate as fast as he can, he's going to be trying to for sure. Up front, he knows is where he belongs, and he's going to try and get there, I think, as soon as he can. Take advantage of all these cars being bunched up at the restart here, at least as bunched up as they can be in single file.
At least as bunched up as they can be on single file. That's a little bunched up. That's a lot bunched up. You made it sound so easy, Tommy. You just always make these things sound so easy, but they're just so difficult. So difficult.
Well, I'm glad I'm making this sound easy, because this broadcast has been difficult with the little bit of connection issues for me. So I'm just hoping I'm putting on as good of a show as I can. You've been doing a lot of the heavy lifting this race so far, but I'm glad to still be here.
Hey, I've been doing a lot of weight training lately, so we're getting jacked. Here with our voice, with our arms, whatever. You don't care about that. You're ready to see some green flag racing resume here from Texas. Fugate with control. They dropped the flag. We're back underway from Texas.
Well, there we go. Good start for Fugate. Getting out in front of Herman Reese, who that 30 car is still stuck behind for now. As Lingle to the outside of Matthew Stern out of 2.
Big time power move. McGregor also going to try to get by on the outside of Herman Reese. Going to send it down into 3 and 4. Stern now trying to follow the 30 through. Lingle, though, still to his outside. Almost contact. Almost 3 wide. McGregor up to second.
Boy, the way McGregor was able to get around Reese on the outside of 3 and 4, that just shows you how good that 30 car is. He's got one more in his sights before he's back to where he's been pretty much this whole race, as Lingle now following through on the high side.
And those two going to work together to try to get back to the bumper of the 9 to Jeff Fugate. They're going to be able to run a little bit lower. Fugate running a little higher. Is he just trying to keep his momentum up through the corner?
Yeah, probably, Joe. He also doesn't want to scrub as much as he can off his tires. Just, keep them as they are. But I'll tell you what, that 30 car and that 113, they've been working good together, but 113's hungry to get around that 30.
113 hungry to get around the 30. Stern going to get by Herman Reese for 4th. Ryan Johnson going to look for 5th on Reese. Those two yellow cars back of your screen. We watched the battle for 2nd, as it has been the battle for the lead most of the night. But, of course, Jeff Fugate got the lead there after a troubled moment for the 30 of McGregor into his pit box. Herman Reese now to the inside of Matthew Stern, trying to get back into the 4th spot. He clears him coming down the back straightaway. Stern gives him a little bit of a bump to allow Ryan Johnson to get to the inside down into 3.
Out front, Jeff Fugate doing a good job pacing this field. He's got a little bit of a gap back to McGregor, but it's closing slightly, and you start to think it's only just a matter of time before McGregor's going to be there and start trying to figure out a way around that sun drop machine. 2 beverages up at the head of the field.
And we are firmly on the soda side of the debate.
Well, I mean,
we're not energy drink guys. We've already said that. No bias, but
that's just the way it's been so far. And Sundrop doing a good job out front, but still plenty of time to go. Almost 20 laps to go. We're getting there. We're getting towards the end, to crunch time. And now we'll really see this 30 car just how well he's done in the long run tonight's been a good indication of what he's going to do to set up Fugate. But catching up to him is one thing, Joe. Passing him is going to be another.
Passing just been at a premium here tonight as the run goes on, and that's what you want to hear if you're the driver of the engine number 9 out front right now. You want to hear that, if I can hold them off for 10, 15, 20 laps, it's going to make it exponentially harder to pass me on lap 25, 30 of this run. So it's going to be interesting to see. Good buddy John Peterson Gambit tuning in, saying energy drinks are king. He's the Red Bull dude. Or he's for the Red Bull dude. That's Jordan McGregor. Put some respect on his name. John. That's what always makes these broadcasts fun, Tommy, is we have the interaction with our chat, with our fans. It's obviously something you don't get during the actual live race broadcast that you watch every weekend on Fox, NBC, whatever stations broadcasting whatever race you're watching. But Stern now looking back to the inside of Herman Reese. This again, the battle for 4th. 2 are pretty even, I'd have to think. 4 and 73.
McGregor hasn't been able to make much headway up to Jeff Fugate just yet. Just about 2.5 tenths behind him, and he's kind of stayed at that gap for a couple laps now. 30 car just kind of hanging around, biding his time. As we cross the line, it is lap 100 now, 117.
Ryan Johnson now to the inside of Herman Reese, that for 5th. Ryan Johnson, late stages of this one, closing in on the lead. Closing on it, another top 5 finish.
Well, I saw a picture yesterday, Joe, of a guy with a bunch of shopping carts filled with 2-liter sun drops.
Really?
And I guess the story behind it was that he lived in kind of a more rural area and no one really bought sun drops, so they were on massive discount. So he got a bunch of them at probably like I don't know, 5 cents a bottle and just filled up a bunch of shopping carts with them. So Sundrop definitely been in my headspace recently. Can't stop thinking about it, and now here's a Sundrop car leading the way ahead of the field with Jeff Fugate behind the wheel.
Can't stop, won't stop thinking about that Sundrop.
You got it. So yeah, one driver who's seen enough of Sundrop so far is Jordan McGregor in the 30 car. Not used to seeing a car directly in front of him this race at all. He's been out front for most of it, but after a pit road mishap, that 30 car has lost track position and now is in second place, where he's sat for these past couple laps, Joe, ever since the
restart, indeed. It's going to be interesting if we get the opportunity to talk with him after the race, to hear what he has to say about the difference between being in the clean air all night and if maybe he wasn't able to make the adjustments he needed to on that Ford Mustang for being back in the dirty air as the race went on. I know those are taboo words. You hate them, Tommy, but it's just a fact of life at this point with stock car auto racing. We've just engineered this stuff so much, to the point where we're too smart for our own good.
Yeah, well, we ought to pick up a wrench and throw it at the computers and get back our, I don't know, old mechanical days. But
get our setup sheets back out, get them off the computer.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, though, I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised here. This third doesn't close the gap like I thought he would as much to that number 9 car. In fact, since the last time we talked about the gap, it's actually grown a little bit here. I'm surprised. I saw that 30 car as a really good car on the long run, but it looks like that 9 machine doing an even better job, at least for right now.
Doing a good job trying to stretch that lead even more. McGregor kind of stretching it out over Lingle now. Maybe he was saving those tires a little bit. Is that another option?
It's definitely an option, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he's doing. But we're closing in on a very special marker in the race that is really towards the end. Just wait another lap. You'll see what it is soon.
We'll see what it is soon indeed. McGregor starting to close that gap, running down the 9 of Jeff Fugate.
But we're going to have the yellow, Joe. This changes everything.
Are you really happy to say that, aren't you?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, hey, this really changes things up, because I think that 9 car was kind of setting sail now, and boy, we'll have to see what these guys now choose, whether they pit or not. I think you pit here, Joe, because there's just too much time left, and you just ran a whole bunch of laps in those tires. We'll see if anyone takes the risk and takes 2 versus 4, though.
Getting you the replay here. Moran going to go around just outside the top 10. Going to get loose on the outside a little bit. Checks up. Cody had nowhere to go, makes contact with the back bumper of the 40, sends him spinning like a top down the back straightaway. A good night gone south for the 40 team.
A couple guys who are running okay, really just falling backwards more and more and getting involved in wrecks, just like that 31 of Stakanis earlier.
That's just been the...
It's always on the back straightaway too, Joe.
It's always on the back straightaway. Well, car's down on pit road right now. We'll keep our eye on the front portion of pit road. Fugate first to his box from our leaders. McGregor does a better job getting into his box. Lingle as well. And I think the 30 is going to have a decent advantage with pit box number 1.
Definitely think so. It's gonna come down to those crews. I think he's gonna be able to get away with it. But here we have a car coming out.
A lot of 2-tire stops.
Yeah.
Surprised?
Riley King at 75.
Are you surprised by that?
I'm not surprised that somebody tried it, but I don't know if I would have. I mean, I suppose if I've been running in the back the whole time, yeah. I'll tell you what, it's risky, Joe. It's risky. But that track position's certainly going to help, I think.
Well, something that's not risky, of course, is our partners at TWB, and this, of course, our TWB 10 to go, Tommy.
Absolutely is. Good thing we're under yellow. I have plenty of time to say my spiel this time. On behalf of TWB, I'd like to advertise to you GardenLightsDirect.com. Hey, from porches, videos, and more. For all of your sleek outdoor lighting needs, go visit GardenLightsDirect.com. They've got a great selection there, great prices, and if you want a little bit of extra flair here heading into the summer, you're going to be spending a lot of time outdoors. How about some nice outdoor lights? Well, they've got them over there at GardenLightsDirect.com. GardenLightsDirect.com. That's GardenLightsDirect.com. That's been your TWB 10 to go.
A great ad read as always, Tommy. Now we're going to be going back green. Roughly 8 laps left in this one, or 7 laps rather. Excuse me, I forgot to subtract the 1. Carry the 2, subtract the 1. How does that change your outlook? Because McGregor's going to be right there in second, and we saw when he was in second the last time, Steve Rubino out in front on older tires, he was able to just power by on the outside.
Given what I know from what happened before, like you just mentioned, I think Wiley King is probably a sitting duck here. I don't give the 95 much of a chance to hang on that lead for too much longer once we go green, because, man, that 30 car is just so fast, and looks like Fugate had a pit road speeding penalty, so he's out of the picture now as well.
Unfortunate for the 9 car. Managed to grab the lead on the mistake by the 30 that wrapped up the 113. Was he speeding? He's still holding his position.
No. Looked like he wasn't speeding, Joe, but at least a bad stop there.
Okay.
That's going to force him back.
Well, still going to have a shot at the top 3 and still have a shot at the win, no doubt, because he's going to be sitting there in 5th on the restart. Wiley King going to have control here. We'll see if these two guys get waved around at the front. There we go. So we'll be going green next time by with 7 laps to go in this one. Wiley King, Jordan McGregor, Caleb Lingle, Harry Cody, and Jeff Fugate, your top 5. It's Ryan Johnson, Matthew Stern, Steve Rubino, Herman Reese, and Ron Simpson, the rest of your top 10. Mark DeSenza going to line up 11th, Maverick 12th, Jason San Diego 13th, Keith McLean, not a great night for the 28, and 14th, Tom Musa, Bob Gibson, Dan Rubino, Steve Grant, Randy Smith, Rod Weston, and then there is Duke Sorensen and Austin LaPlante catching up on the back. Our free pass and wave around cars there. But once again, we're going to be going back green flag. 7 laps to go. It's a shootout to the end of this one, folks. You're not going to want to touch that dial. Don't want to touch the search bar. Don't navigate away from this one, because it is about to get crazy here from No Limits, Texas.
Wiley King up there next to the wall. That's classic single file restart procedure right there for a bunch of drivers. I know I like doing that whenever I'm in a single file race and I'm the leader, because it gives you a little bit of advantage. They can't pass you low, so might as well stick up high. Well, here we go, back into the restart zone shortly here. That 95 of Wiley King took 2 tires. Oh, a little bit of problems, though.
Guy's going to get by on the inside. Shouldn't be a penalty there, of course. Or if it is, it'll get cleared. But McGregor back out to the lead.
Wow, boy, those 2 tires did not work out. Huge, huge wheel spin on that restart. And right now, Jordan McGregor loving it.
Loving what he's seeing, but doesn't like to see that Blue Jay Ford Fusion of Caleb Lingle getting bigger in his mirror. Jeff Fugate going to the inside of Cody Ann for 3rd.
Well, Fugate certainly has a fast car, but there's just not much time left for him to get back up there. Meanwhile, at this point, McGregor...
car in the grass! Further on back, Keith McLean around in turn 1.
And we'll be racing back to the green flag, or to the checkered line there. And it's going to be McGregor. I don't know if there's enough time for us to go green again. Maybe a 1-lap shootout, but McGregor leads the way.
Oh, he said
at the time of the caution.
He said it was going to get crazy. Get your replay. Looked like the 73 was in the grass. Let's try to see how that started. Here's Herman Reese coming off of turn number 4. Outside Steve Rubino. Reese going to get in the grass. That's going to cause the car to get loose. Going to be back down in the grass, cut through it. Come back up the track. That's going to scare Keith, I think, more than anything. Make him make contact. I didn't see who that was that time on the replay, but make him make contact with that car that was outside. The 95 of Wiley King, who spun the tires there on the restart. Oh, no, he never even made contact. He spun because he was avoiding making contact. So heads up driving there from Keith. To not take anyone else out, not make it a big wreck. But he's not going to want to hear that for sure. He's definitely probably in the angry column after that event there happening. No one coming to pit road. Austin LaPlante coming to pit road.
Not any of our leaders anyway, and no surprise there here with just such limited time left, and the track position being as important as it is. If we do go green again, which we might, I think we will. Yeah, not enough time for tires to make a difference at this point. All about track position.
All about track position. That sums up a lot of things here at this Texas Motor Speedway as of late. But McGregor has the point right now, so he'll restart from the lead. Lingle, Fugate, your top 3. We know these guys are fast. Harry Kodian and Ryan Johnson rounding out your top 5.
If we do go back green, the question on everybody's mind, will anybody get by Jordan McGregor? We know Jeff Fugate definitely had the car to have the lead of this race, but after a poor pit stop and McGregor having the advantage of that first pit stop he got by winning the pole, he's found himself back at the head of the field. And with single file restarts, Joe, this competition is going to get heated, and everybody's going to want to try and find a way around McGregor, but I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see.
We will see indeed. So pace car lights stay on. So if they go out next time, we will go back green with a 1-lap shootout. Am I doing my math correct?
I'm trying to think it through here.
This is 1:15.
Yeah, it's got to be a 1-lap shootout if they go off. So they have to come off this time, else Jordan McGregor will win this race under yellow.
Here, McGregor, are you hoping for those lights to stay on, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've been in that position before, just hoping those things would go off. Or, excuse me, stay on. Also been on the opposite end, hoping they go off.
Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. Doing our best up here in the JTN booth. I'm Joe. He's Tommy. A fantastic night of racing here with HOBO Racing in the Cup Series. We're about to see, though, if we're going to see one final restart in this one. Folks, make sure if you're new here, you hit the subscribe button. Slap the bell to make sure you got your notifications turned on so you're notified anytime we go live here on JTN. Our next broadcast is, well, it's tomorrow night, so just save the date, save the time, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, All-Star Racing, All-Star Race. Myself and Ricky Collette on the call for that one. We'll have qualifying for the event and then a short 20% race, so it's going to be a fun night nonetheless. This is the moment of truth to see if the win is sealed for McGregor. It's not. Pace car lights go off. We'll be going back green with 1 lap to go.
Oh boy, well, we're not done racing just yet. We're going to have one more. I don't know though, Joe. I mean, McGregor, you know, we saw how much that spinning the tires affected Wiley, so it's possible that that could happen, but for this 30 car, it looks like he's been solid on restarts all day. He's got even footing on tires as the rest of the field. But we'll see, Joe. It's racing. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen indeed. So McGregor, Lingle, Fugate, your top 3. And it's Kodian and Johnson, the rest of your top 5. Steve Rubino up into the 6th spot here for the restart. Ron Simpson, Matthew Stern, Mark DeSenza, and Herman Reese, the rest of your top 10. This is the moment every race car driver wants. They want the opportunity to try to win a race under green. But they also want to make sure they can't lose extra spots. How do you do that? You make it a one-lap shootout here from the Texas Motor Speedway, a track that has no limits except for those outside retaining walls. But we're going to have no limits on this restart indeed. Hoping everyone makes it back around. Spotter's going to be careful. Pace car makes its way down the pit lane. Fans on their feet, cheering, waving their hands, waving their programs, waving their hats. Green flag, we're back underway. 1 lap to go.
Oh, man, Caleb Lingle. Big wheel spin right there. He's going to lose a bunch of spots. It looked like he was getting pretty close to McGregor up there, but now it's just Fugate with a chance for glory.
Fugate going to have to get a good run down the back straightaway to try to have anything for that 30 car. Coming through turns number 3 and 4, the guy that led 75% at least of this race, Jordan McGregor, is going to get it done here from Texas. What a race.
He was certainly the class of the field tonight. The only time he ever wasn't really in the lead was either under pacing, yellow flag pit cycle things, and that bad pit stop, which I'm sure we'll have to ask him about in the post-race interviews.
I'm sure he was thinking that was going to be the end of it for him. We'll get his burnouts here in a second, but Tommy, what a great race. Good show of sportsmanship on track right now. Lingle going up to McGregor. Giving a little wave, and a polite wave, not one of those where you use only one finger. Burn it down, Jordan McGregor.
Right across the race logo there, Radio Shack, as this is an older track version. How about that?
He's giving the fans a show right now. Look at him.
Oh, yeah, that's a big boy burnout right there, and I'm sure the crowd here at Texas absolutely loving it.
Of course,
it has definitely been a show.
Everything has to be bigger in Texas, Tommy.
Absolutely.
So McGregor going to take the car back to pit road. We'll move on to our post-race coverage here on JTN. Try to talk with our top 3 drivers after this one. But Tommy, we saw another fantastic race here from the Texas Motor Speedway. 1 to go tomorrow night. But looking back on tonight, we saw the restarts. We saw the field get jumbled up. But we also saw some great long-run green flag racing. We got to see those green flag pit stops, which I think is always just a treat to see how aggressive those guys can get to pit road. But what was the one thing tonight that you appreciated the most that these guys here at Hobo were able to do? He appreciated everything, folks. That's what it was. He appreciated everything.
Yeah, sorry. Still struggling with a little bit of connection issues, so I only got parts of that. But no, it's been great having them here, and especially the fan support for this series and these guys out racing on there. Great to see everybody in chat. It's so much support that goes here when we broadcast Hobo, and we love to see it up here in the booth. Great to have everybody following along at home, and glad you could watch a pretty good race here tonight from the Lone Star State.
Watch an excellent race here tonight. It ended up being 30 cars tonight. Export. S. Right export. Oh, no. Now we'll get the right export. Sorry, folks. It's going to take me a little extra time. Okay. Now we'll get it for you. I was going to show you the results from the last race, and you were going to be like, that's not who won. Anytime now. But Tommy, yeah, a fantastic night of racing here from Texas. And we can't thank all the folks here at Hobo Racing for always having us out, always putting on a great show, always putting up with us. You guys are great, and echo everything Tommy said, of course, because without the fan support at home, this stuff, well, it's not as fun without you guys. So we always love it when you guys tune in and watch, whether it be here with Hobo, All-Star Racing, Bomb Squad Racing, whatever it may be, USORL, Excel. It's always fun to see you guys tuning in here on JTN, and can't thank you folks enough for it. As always, we'll start our interviews here in just a second. I'll be taking care of those, of course. Results now on your screen. Let's bring in our third place finisher.
Had to back into our spots.
No. Harry, do I need to send you back?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. I have a feeling, were you talking about that pit road incident we saw there? Or wait, pit road. Pit road was tricky tonight, right?
Yeah, at the end there, I thought I came off in front of both those guys, but the game said they were in front, which is probably a better thing. They're faster than me all night. I had a good car early, and I slapped the wall, and it killed my straightaway speed. So I took 2 there at the end, and I didn't expect the top 3. I mean, that was, just holding people up there and creeped in there. But I was hoping for, in the top 5 to 10.
But had a good rebound tonight, Harry, because we saw you early on. You were up inside the top 5, had a lot of great speed in that car. But then, like you said, caught the wall, kind of lost a lot of guys. They were kind of freight training you on the bottom. That's just the way it goes sometimes on that long green flag run. Did you think that 2-tire stop were you in the mindset that was going to be your only chance to get the track position back and then kind of just hope that you could keep it? Or, was it a Hail Mary, like, okay, maybe we'll get a caution quick? Like, what really went into that 2-tire decision?
Yeah, no, I was really surprised how much speed was out of the car when I slapped it. And I just had to let them go. There was no sense fighting them there. But yeah, at the end, I figured, what the hell? My car was good. I was able to get the damage fixed. I put a little tape. I loosened it up. What the hell? I give it a shot. Didn't expect a top 3. Like I said, I think I was back in 15th or something. And I was just trying to get in the top 10. If I fell back a few, I was fine with that. The caution definitely helped me for sure, because it wasn't that good. Once I took off on the 2, yeah, I was a sitting duck. Whoever was behind me, he had a good run. I had to go low and just kind of take his speed away because, I was not deserving of a 3rd.
Hey, but some nights too, you're not deserving of a 20th, so you gotta take them both, Harry. But again, congratulations, great run tonight, 3rd place finish. I know you've been up here before, but I think it's been a little while, so I'll jog your memory a little bit. Again, congratulations on that finish. Floor is yours, though. I know you got sponsors, family, admins. Floor is yours, Harry.
Well, yeah, of course, always want to thank Steve and the Hobo League. So much fun here. And appreciate you guys doing it. I always enjoy watching the races. I've got to run. I've got to take care of some stuff right now, but I will definitely enjoy the broadcast tonight. You guys always do a great job, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Harry, for taking the time to talk with us. Now go get those errands done, because I have a feeling that they're probably a little more urgent than talking with me. Thank you so much for taking the time after this one. Congratulations again on the 3rd place finish.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Cody, driver of the number 13 M4S Meal Installations Chevrolet. We move on now to our 2nd place finisher, driver of the number 9 Sundrop Dodge Charger, Jeff Fugate. Jeff, man, oh man, oh man, that last was it the thing that did you in was that last pit stop, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, let's take it back to when you got the lead. We knew you had a fast car. You were able to really extend that lead early on in that green flag run we had before that second to last caution. Did you feel like what was your thought process when you saw that you got off pit road before those guys?
It's a miracle. It's about time for a really good stop. I don't know. I've had some crappy stops tonight. I think I passed a bunch of cars, but it's the same ones I had to keep repassing because of pit stops. But That was kind of different, but no, that was awesome. Come out in first, and it'd been nice to have been a few less laps, but I figured there'd be a caution before the end, and then have to do it all over.
Yeah, those knuckleheads, they start racing a little too hard, right?
Yeah, tires wear out and gets a little slick, and things happen.
Hey, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I think I picked up on what you're putting down, Jeff. But a great run for you tonight. What was the big difference though when you got out in the clean air? What was the big difference there when you compared to when you were back kind of behind guys and in the pack in the soup?
Well, I mean, clean air was definitely king. I mean, that makes the car drive so much better. Set up in the corner and everything in the draft. Of course, you can draft up, but you got to be careful because of checking up, and you don't want to overrun the corner. With the draft, you have to lift a little earlier and kind of plan your maneuvers. But yeah, out front definitely was the place to be. It would have been nice if we'd had a few more laps at the end. A 1 lap shootout at any track's not
Ideal.
much. You can't do much to that.
Yeah.
With that. So, but it was fun. It was a good race.
Well, Jeff, congratulations again. Second place run tonight. Led 20 laps. Did a great job. Got into that clean air. You were able to hold off McGregor and Lingle, and a great job nonetheless. I know second place is never the spot you want to finish in, but got to take it sometimes. Floor is yours, though. I know you got sponsors, family, friends. Floor is yours to thank them.
Yeah, what they say, second place is first place loser, but I'll take it. It's better than back further.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, thanks Steve and Dan and all the admins at HOBO keeping the league going, and then you guys over here with the coverage. We really like coming out here and racing with you guys, covering it. A lot of fun. A lot of good drivers here. A lot of give and take. A lot of guys here that can win. Some of them haven't done it yet, but sooner or later they'll break out and they'll get it. It's a lot of fun racing here, and hope the good work. And just had a lot of fun tonight.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Congratulations, Jeff, again on the second place finish, and we'll be back with you Sunday night. You feeling good about Nashville Super Speedway with the trucks?
It'll be fun.
Hey,
might be a handful.
Hey, that's what I like to hear from up in the booth. If you think it's going to be fun and a handful, that's the perfect combination. Again, buddy, congratulations, second place run tonight. Have a great night.
All right, thanks.
Jeff Fugate, driver, the number 9 Sundrop Dodge Charger. We now bring in, he's down in victory lane. He's done the 6 shooters, has the big gallon cowboy hat on. Jordan McGregor, driver, the number 30 Red Bull Ford Mustang. Jordan, that was that got a little scary there through the middle part of the race, didn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of a tale of two races. We had the long green flag runs, which is where I usually excel at, and then we had some short runs towards the end of that thing. But we had a really good setup. I felt confident on long runs or short runs. We had that run there towards the end where the 9 got out in front of us, and we decided to just ride. I was going to wait till 10 to go and then start going, and I thought we had a really good shot to get back by him, but it all worked out in the end. And I think, and we had such a good car, I would have been really disappointed with anything other than a win. But that was a great race by everybody. I like having races like that where we get some long green flag runs.
Got a little bit of everything tonight. Now, we saw you though that second to last pit stop, I guess it ended up being, had the trouble on pit road. It was a box issue, right? You were a little too far to the right.
Yeah. I think I overshot it. I thought I was going to be too far to the right, but I overshot it. I just had to back up. So.
Okay. When a mistake like that happens, though, does it kind of add something to your determination, your motivation, whatever word you want to use, to get back to the lead? Because I know for me and from my experience, when I make a little mistake like that, because it's like fractions of a second, right, to hit the brakes that you and you slide through, or it's the grip, or whatever. Was there that little extra motivation to try to get back out there, get back out front, get by those guys? Because anytime you were behind someone, it seems like you were just able to pass them really, really quick. It didn't matter, high side, low side, wherever on the track.
Yeah, I think the worst thing for any race car driver is to beat yourself. So anytime something like that happens that you could control, it's definitely frustrating. I knew we still had a good car, and I knew we still had a shot, and I'd actually practiced some highline stuff last night with Caleb. So I knew there was grip up there, and just worked out to where we got some room and were able to pass everybody back on the outside. So, Yet, but yes, it does give you a little bit more motivation, I think.
Jordan, you got the win tonight. Congratulations once again. I know you've been up here. Redemption 2 from the last Texas race in May because seemed like you had the best car, one of the best cars there, and just luck kind of bit you. But congratulations again on the win here. Redemption, of course. Now this is 2 in a row at this Texas track too, because I believe you won the one last fall as well. But before we let you go, the floor is yours. I know you got plenty of sponsors, family, admins, whatever it is. Now's the time to thank them.
Yep. So, hey, definitely got to thank Caleb. Caleb really put this setup together last season. We've, without really any changes, we've ran this setup the last 2 races. So, great job to him. Hated to see him spin the tires on the last restart. Definitely have to thank Steve and Dan. They put on, I think, the best league to race in all of sim racing right now. So, got to thank them. Thank you guys for putting on a great show. And last, I got to thank my wife for putting up with me racing on our anniversary. So, love you, Amanda.
And she was in chat rooting for you, too. So that's awesome, Jordan. Happy anniversary, too, to you and your wife. Congratulations, though, on the victory here tonight. Good luck next week, because it's going to be another fun one. And congratulations again, buddy.
Thank you, Joe.
Jordan McGregor, driver of the number 30 Red Bull Mustang. Well, folks, that's going to do it from our coverage here. Tommy, last word for you.
Texas. We've seen a lot of it. It was Texas. We saw a really strong run from McGregor there, and boy, I'll tell you what, there was no beating him tonight. Let me tell you.
There was no beating Jordan McGregor tonight here from the Texas Motor Speedway. Well, folks, remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. That always helps us here on J10, getting ever so close to 650 subscribers. Can't thank you folks enough for tuning in here tonight. Again, we'll be live tomorrow night, All-Star Racing, All-Star Race, right back here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Live qualifying, live race, all that jazz. It's going to be a fun, fun night. I'll be on the call with Ricky, and it'll be a great show. But from all of us here at JTN, thank you so much for watching. For Bristol, our producer, for Tommy Bordeaux, I've been Joe Twansky. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow live here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh, Maverick! Turn wide!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Musa's gonna die.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron!
He's gonna use the apron!
They're gonna be side by side! Coming off the corner! Boy, back to the inside! It's gonna be a drag race to the line! Musa gets it!